They caught 2 North Korean spies trying to infiltrate American companies. Please put subtitles on screen, right?
Hey, you're back. What happened?
Okay. Okay. Work is a problem, I think.
Okay, according to him, he just had network issues. We're about to find out why.
I just came back.
Okay, no. Yeah, I mean, I was in the process of saying, like, we get a lot of imposter candidates, you know, particularly North Koreans, like, posing as people that they're not.
Okay, the interviewer tells him, hey, since we constantly receive a lot of people, a lot of imposters from North Korea, pretending to be someone they're not, we do a few tests. Let's see what the tests are.
Right? One of the tests that we do is trying to get them to say something like, Kim Jong-un is a fat, ugly...
He tells him, you have to say Kim Jong-un is a fat and ugly pig.
Pig? Could you say that for me?
Could you say that for me?
For me?
Yes, right? Yes, with tongues.
No, Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea.
Of course, the supreme leader of North Korea. This guy, as a North Korean, has to say that the supreme leader is fat and a pig.
Yeah, I should say it like that. Yep.
If you could, because it's a test so that I know you're not North Korean.
Yep.
What is that?
It froze. Do you see it? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened? It froze. Incredible, but true. Why? Because the guy left the call. Because obviously he can't say that Kim Jong-un, that the supreme leader, is a fat, ugly man, a pig. He can't say it for obvious reasons. But look, he wasn't the only one. Please, subtitles on the screen.
Can you tell me something about North Korea?
The interviewer asks, can you tell me about North Korea? Actually, I have no idea, says this guy. Okay.
Can you tell me something about Kim Jong-un?
Can you tell me something about Kim Jong-un?
Question.
Okay, so you'd have no issue calling Kim Jong-un a dictator?
Oh, you wouldn't have any problem saying that Kim Jong-un is a dictator. Silencio total.
Can you say those words to me?
There you have it. He's gone. Exactly. He left, he disconnected because obviously he can't say it. Now, many of you might be wondering why there were North Korean spies trying to infiltrate companies in the United States. Look, the reason is simple. And actually, they're not spies. Exactly. They're not spies. They're people who are trying to get money, who are trying to get dollars for Kim Jong-un's regime. Exactly. Even though the media says otherwise. Look, North Korean spy tries to infiltrate a US tech company. And he's discovered after refusing to say that Kim Jong-un is a dictator. Despite that, I confirm it for you. They're workers. They're people from North Korea who know about technology and are looking to work remotely so they can send dollars to the regime. That's what they do. Now, you're probably wondering, Astro Recargado, how can these people connect to the internet if there's no internet in North Korea? Well, to start, there is a little bit. But obviously, only a tiny percentage of people have access to that internet. For example, Kim Jong-un and his family. And obviously, these workers can't access the internet from North Korea. What happens is very simple. Kim Jong-un's regime sends them to other countries. For example, China, Russia, Vietnam, sometimes Singapore. Although Singapore is very expensive, so it's complicated. They send them to countries that have a very good connection. Now, you're probably wondering if they have a good internet connection. Why does their internet fail? Because this guy, he himself said that he was losing the connection, the signal. Well guys, the answer is simple, because actually they have to connect to other computers that are in the United States. I mean, yes, this guy could be working in a city in China, right? Not with his own computer, but the companies read the IP address. Therefore, companies want you to be present in the United States. So what Kim Jong-un's regime does is set up computer farms, laptop farms in the United States that are turned on in some house, in some garage. That way, tech companies like Facebook and Amazon detect that this person is in the United States even though they're actually not. Only their computer is, but not him. This guy could easily be in China controlling it through applications like AnyDesk or TeamViewer. So that's what's happening. In fact, not long ago, a woman from Arizona was sentenced to 8 years in prison for having a computer farm in her house. I mean, there were, I think, more than 100 computers. It was crazy. More than 100 North Koreans connected through her house. Just imagine, obviously those North Koreans were in other countries, but this woman let them use her house. It was totally crazy, and now she's in prison. Just imagine that. Now, it's very important to clarify one thing. The fact that these people aren't North Korean spies doesn't mean that North Korean spies don't exist. Of course they do. North Korean hackers also exist. No. The North Korean regime has many tentacles. It's very, very hard to figure out, but the point is that these people, I'm telling you, are workers, they're employees, and many of them, really, a lot of them, you can't even imagine. And obviously all of this became popular after COVID, after the pandemic and the rise of remote work. As you know, many companies hire remotely, so these guys take advantage of that and get up to their usual tricks. Please, let's react to this video quickly.
You saw in the video that many North Korean spies try to work at top tech companies, but they always get caught for one reason. We all know North Korea, one of those countries where you definitely wouldn't want to spend Easter. We all know that the North Korean government is kind of, well, strange. And they like to send spies into international companies to steal information and make North Korea stronger.
Actually, they mostly do it to get dollars, since Kim Jong-un's regime faces really tough blockades and economic sanctions. So let's say this is one of the few ways the North Korean regime has to get money.
Videos of North Korean spies getting caught are going viral right now. These spies claim to be from Japan, the Philippines, the United States, etc. But when questioned, they can't hide the truth. They're actually from North Korea. And that question is if they can say that the leader of North Korea is a dictator. And the funny thing is that whenever those North Korean agents are about to get the job, they're asked this question and then they disconnect from the call. And that's because, well, this is a crime. If they say he's a dictator, then they're going to end up in jail. Even though they're working for him, if they say something bad about him, well, that's it. They go to jail.
Well, it's not exactly like that. Basically, they see it as a sign of disrespect, and that's why they don't do it. Just so you know, what I'm about to share has been confirmed by several North Korean defectors who escaped. It turns out that many North Koreans, in fact, the vast majority of North Koreans, are not aware that they are being oppressed by the regime. They are not aware. Yes, North Korea is a giant prison, it's a totalitarian regime, but the people who live inside the regime are not aware of what's happening. Look, just so you get an idea, North Koreans who live inside North Korea don't hate their regime as much as Venezuelans, Cubans, or Iranians do. Why? Because they don't have access to information, guys. They're disconnected from the West. It's that simple. So, for them, they're living in their own world and their normal life, their day-to-day. And yes, North Koreans are being oppressed, but many are not aware of it. In fact, several defectors, several of these people who escaped the regime, have said themselves that the hardest part of escaping is even knowing that the possibility of escape exists. Just imagine that. But guys, I'd like to know what you think and what your opinions are about all this. It's completely crazy. Several North Koreans trying to work for American companies. And, well, apparently there are way more than people imagine. A lot of North Koreans working in American companies. Incredible, but true. See you next time.